First off, I just want to give a shout out to the marketing team, because this Mother's Day, payback is a mother. All right, so if your kids were trapped inside a house with criminals, would you fight to get them? That question is answered by the lead in James McTeige's Breaking In, and she answers with a resounding yes. And who else do I need to take out to get my kids back? Gabrielle Union is the star here as Sean Russell. Her father recently passed, and she takes her kids with her to his secluded vacation home to get it ready for sale. Little do they know that 4 men are already inside the house on a mission of their own to steal money from a safe that's located somewhere inside the home. The home is heavily fortified with a security system, cameras in every room, and one remote that controls it all. What happens next is both formulaic and unconventional. It's an oxymoron, right? But follow me. Rather than falling into the usual traps of a damsel in distress, Sean thinks through her options and slowly works her way to a resolution. Writer Ryan Engel gives us a strong female lead in Sean, and Gabrielle Union deserves a lot of credit in her portrayal of this mother. I usually don't rock with Gabrielle Union outside of Being Mary Jane, because she always seems to play this same woman scorned over and over, but not here. She's not a woman scorned as you may think from some of the sound bites of the trailer. Instead, she's just a woman with baggage. That baggage is never fully explained, and it really doesn't need to be, but its presence is there throughout the film's running time. On the flip side, the criminals in this film fit the bill of the generic home invasion thrillers. You have Eddie, who's played by Billy Burke. He's the mastermind. Duncan, played by Richard Cabral, the psychopath amongst the thieves. You know, the dude that's like way out there. He's gonna take it to the next level. Sam, who's played by Levi Meaden, the reluctant one. And then Peter, played by Mark Furs, who's the tech genius. Eddie does a lot of mansplaining throughout the film, and I don't think this really helps it. He not only tells his gang what to do, but how Sean will think. And in some ways, he's the embodiment of the stereotypical thought as to what a woman or mother may do in this situation, as we've been taught by cinema. So I did appreciate that portion of it, because it circumvents what we typically would think. But in other ways, it's just irritating to hear his thoughts connecting each new development within the film. The film does have a tight pace and gets started within the first 10 minutes. I really appreciated that, because typically there's a ton of exposition that we would get and backstory as to what Sean's father did, why they're estranged, etc. But by getting into the action, proceeded with some genuine moments with Sean and her children, Jasmine and Glover, played by Ajiona, Alexus, and Seth Carr. We're just sucked into the story. There's an internal clock that's built into the movie, as the criminals have like 90 minutes before the cops arrive, I guess because it's such a secluded house, like it's off in the woods, but it's not used to the best of its ability. Regardless, the tension builds in a what would you do, yell at the screen sort of way due to the honesty of Union's performance. Again, like Gabrielle Union does a great job here. It's almost like she's like one note, but it's done in such a way that it's like, yeah, I believe you, I'm with you. While the film does well in pacing and suspense, McTeigue seems to have trouble with his framing within the film. It doesn't feel well thought out and translates to poor spatial awareness at times. You don't know exactly where characters are in relation to one another. So while he does a good job of isolating characters within the frame, specifically I'm thinking about how when Sean and her kids enter the house for the first time, they're just noticeably separated by the frame. And it creates a sense of that heightened feeling you get when you're by yourself and you hear noise, right? Like we usually kind of feel a little scared. But when people do come together within the frame, it can feel a little jarring because you didn't really know. It's like, whoa, where did he come? Oh. Like if somebody just walked on right now, then what keeps the film from really being superb is that it doesn't add anything new to the genre. Films like The Purge and Your Next brought something fresh to it that keeps you interested. So The Purge, it's like you got 12 hours to do whatever you want to do. All crime is legal. And then within Your Next, this was if you haven't seen Your Next, you got to see it. I know I'm talking about Breaking In, but you got to see it. It's a great way of spinning the genre on its head. But here, The film is a straightforward invasion thriller, and therefore it can be considered bland by many. Yet, to me, the writing is driven by an authentic sense of a mother trying to protect and ensure the safety of her young. I personally believed it as a father. The crowd I saw it with was hooked into every moment of narrow escape, one up in the bad guys, and fight that Sean has to give. The emotional strain was so high at times, I don't think they laughed during a scene that was clearly supposed to release the tension. But maybe that was due to the poor performance by the villain. Regardless, this is a good escape for 88 minutes of entertainment this weekend. I give it a B-. I'm gonna stand by this film. I'd love to hear what you got to say, because I know half of you are gonna be like, yeah, this movie sucked, and then the other half are gonna be like, nah, it was pretty good, I enjoyed it. And so yeah, I'm on that, I enjoyed it, I had a good time. It's really cool to see that Gabrielle Union is one of the producers on this film. I really appreciate seeing Black women in the above-the-line roles and making these, or helping these stories to come to life. We know Taraji did that earlier this year with Proud Mary. Make sure you check out picturelockshow.com for movie reviews, news, and if you live in the DC area, get free tickets to movie screenings. Follow me on social media. All social media is at Picture Show. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about the film, and thanks for checking out this review.